My name's Teresa Klepak, and I'm a master gardener. We're going to have Karen Seay talk to us today about creative container gardening. Yes. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Karen Seay. Karen has been a master gardener since 2016, and she's going to talk to us about creative container gardening. Karen?
Okay. My goodness, I wasn't expecting a crowd like this. I hope some of y'all get something out of this and don't think it's all cheesy, but the class itself, or the presentation, was inspired by a fellow named Felder Rushing. I have three of his books up here. One of them is on bottle trees. That's a big thing for him. Pass along plants, and a book on container gardening. And I have another book that has a lot of the pictures that are in here too. You're welcome to take pictures of it after it's over with, or whatever. Felder Rushing he's a unique individual. He lives in Mississippi. He does a lot of talking here in Texas. And I think the strangest container that he has for his flowers is the back of his truck. If you ever see a truck with a garden in the back of it, that's him. I don't think anybody else has that going on. But another thing he does that I don't have a picture of is if you have a road, which a lot of us have this summer because we've had so much rain, that has a pothole that needs fixing and it's not being done to your liking or fast enough, plant a flower in it. People try to avoid it, and it helps them from hurting their tires. Anyway, like I say, he's unique. This one's interesting. It's an umbrella turned upside down with flowers in it, and a lot of these pictures have those watering cans in them. That one has a string of lights coming out of it. Now, I was going to go to Hobby Lobby and see if they have solar strings of lights like that, because that would be really cool. And if it were blue lights, it would look like water was really coming out of it. So anyway, that's kind of a cool thing. A unique way to do a flower bed. I've never seen that done before. Okay. In the little hobby house. All of us have oaks that are dying right now, and we have oak tree stumps, and it takes them forever to go away. So there's a good idea to decorate those. When you leave the church, if you go away from 75 instead of towards 75, there's a stump right here at the end of this street that's decorated like that, and they change it during the seasons. Sometimes it has Christmas stuff, sometimes it has Easter stuff. It's really cool. There's another watering can, and it has beads in it. It looks like there's water coming out of it. Okay, if you've got a corner in your yard that needs some decorating, there's an idea for that. I like that one because I don't see any weeds. You know, it seems like it's been a losing battle with those this year. There's no nut grass there, Tom. Anyway. Okay, there's one up there that I will never have in my yard, and that would be the top right. I don't know whose creative plan was that, to make a big snake. Yeah. It's pretty, but it's scary. There's a lot of things that you can do with tires, and they've hit on several things. Hang them on the wall, make them look like a spoked wheel, and the ladybird is pretty, and the coffee cup is nice as well. There's another one that you can hang from the tree. And one thing that you have to look close to see that one up there, that's an old chandelier to put ivories in. Very cool ideas. Okay, now, these are old barbecue pits. You know, we've all had one of those. You don't know what to do with it. You load it up, you take it to the dump. That one is used like an ice chest. That one's like a bar, you know, in the backyard. And this one has flowers in it. What I see with a barbecue garden would be herbs. I thought that would be really cute beside the kitchen door, because there's all kinds of herbs that you can put in that they spread really fast if you don't take care of them. Mints, marjoram, there's several of them. They just go nuts in your garden if you let them go. But I thought that'd be really cool. You'd walk by it all the time and think about it for whatever it is you're cooking. It also has another advantage in my mind. It has a shade. If you can point it whichever way you want to keep your plants in the shade in the afternoon. Those are cool with the galvanized buckets. I have one of those pumps that I might just do that with, because I've been trying to figure out what to do with it. I was going to put it on a pipe and make it look like it was really doing something into my bird bath, but I like that idea there. A lot of us have wheelbarrows we don't know what to do with. That's a good idea. I have one that I had laid on the side to make it with flowers. Makes it look like they're spilling out of there, like it got deserted full of flowers. Another thing to do, watering cans are a good thing to use for your garden. And I have seen these galvanized tubs at Ollie's. I don't know if any of y'all ever go to Ollie's, but they have them, and they're not, nothing at Ollie's is expensive, so. This one is unique in that somebody had a red spray can. And they put the red flowers in there, so it's pretty cool, you know? And still no weeds. I like that. Okay, this one you have to look at it for a minute to know what it is. It's a bundt cake pan on an old lamp. See how they're taking the lamp apart and puts that bundt cake pan on there? Isn't that cute? And just paint it. There's another deal. You'd have to, I'm sure some of the husbands have old ladders that you'd prefer they not climb on anymore. So you could put birdhouses. Am I doing that or you?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you filled it full of birdhouses or plants, that's one way to keep them off of it. Another thing with buckets. It shows you how to string them by putting that wire or whatever it is up the middle and then filling them full of flowers. I think that's really pretty.
It looks like it might be rebar.
Maybe so. That would keep it, yes. I was thinking since it was beside the tree, yes, but it could be standalone as well. Good catch. There's another place that's very pretty. Okay. There's another thing I'm going to show you in a minute. Remember this lattice work. That, to me, would be a good way to do your herbs as well. You ever have a whole dresser you didn't want anymore? I like that. And more of the buckets, galvanized buckets. Another chandelier. And this one looks like to me, there wasn't a description, but it looks to me like it has solar lighting in it. So that would be lit up at night, which is kind of cool. There's some more stumps that are unsightly the way they are. I don't see, it doesn't look to me like any of them are painted. It seems like it would be kind of cool to have them painted too. Then it would look like you had a stump-shaped flower pot. Another corner. No weeds. Isn't it wonderful? And I've seen these little things, like at the flea market or whatever. That's a good thing for them. That one. I'm not sure if that's a funnel. It looks like a funnel that's just had the end mash on it. But it's kind of cool. Okay. I have one of those chairs in my yard that I've been wanting to paint for years, but I think that's a pretty good idea right there. He's cute. Okay, now, they're showing a lot of things that are painted, which I think I never thought about painting flower pots. And that's a really neat way to get the whole thing the same color. And that doesn't have to be a terracotta pot. That can be a plastic pot. And you could do that very economically with the same color flowers, and it's very pretty. Ever have any old shoes you don't know what to do with? When Richard was in Spain, he sent me a picture, and it had a shoe shelf on somebody's porch, and it had, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 pairs of shoes there, and they all had flowers in them. It was cute, even in Spain. Okay, this was in my backyard, okay? Last year, whenever I went to turn my garden over after it was all over with, I had a bunch of gourds. Gooseneck gourds. And I thought, those are so cool. There has to be something that I can do with those. So I threw them in the corner of my vegetable garden. And this spring, this thing comes up. And I thought, well, what in the world is that? I didn't plant that. And it grew, and it grew, and it grew. And finally, I figured out it's a gooseneck gourd. And it's got about 4 gourds on it. And that's in the middle of my apple tree. So the necks on them are straight because they're hanging. If they were on the ground, they grow bent like that. There's all kinds of gourds that you can grow. They're very easy to grow. They don't really need a whole lot of attention that you can make flower pots out of them. Like this one. This one still has seeds in it. It doesn't have a hole in it. A couple of years ago, I had this one, and I would cut the hole in the bottom of it to get the seeds out of it. Probably to get this one. Anyway, if you could take some light sandpaper on it, they get hard like that. It's really weird. I know you've seen them at especially at the 4th of July. At the booths there, there's a lady there who paints them and stuff. Well, they would make good flower pots too. So.
See, that one looks like a duck.
Yeah.
It's a gooseneck gourd. Yes, ma'am.
If you're going to be doing that with gourds like that, you need to soak them in bleach for a little while and then scrub that mildew off of them before you start working with them, or you'll end up with.
What if you paint them?
or something.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. I didn't think about that, but I was thinking painting them.
Maybe like a 10% bleach solution and soak them in it for a few days.
Got little eyeballs and put some eyeballs on them. Anyway, they're, like I said, they're easy to grow, and it's a good cheap way to have flower pots and know that you grew them.
Do gourds ever like disintegrate or anything? I mean, how long will they stay like?
I don't know. I know one of those is like 4 years old. But if you paint them, it seems like they last a long time. They last longer than you think. And you can use those for flower pots or bird houses. They have, there's picture boards, there's birdhouse boards, there's all kinds, you'll be real surprised. Okay, you ever go to the beach and collect seashells, and then a year later you think, what am I going to do with these? You can decorate your flower pots with them. This is just, I got a lot of wine bottles here, and there's wine cases out there that you can get and paint and make into a flower pot as well. Bottle trees. That's one of the things that Felder Rushing does. He's got a whole book on bottle trees. I asked that guy, this was at one of the Daylily farm that we went to, and he had those scriggly bottles. I said, where in the world did you find those? He said, there's only one place that I know that I can get them. You'll probably never be there. It's okay. Never mind. That's a terracotta or plastic pot that's been sprayed such a pretty blue. There's more of your tennis shoes or any kind of old shoes. I've got these boots. We can put a flower on top of him. I've got some sunglasses up here that you can put on there. I didn't have a chance to get those red nose. They have the red nose day. So I know you can get red noses somewhere. I'm not sure where. And put on there and hold his glasses on or glue them or whatever. Also, whenever you do those, you can take something and slice the bottom of the shoe so water wouldn't run out of it. Also, you can make them into birdhouses. Nail them on the tree. And then put your glasses on there if you wanted to. When they're not stuck together, it makes a difference. Put a hat on them. And you can do the same thing whenever you put a plant on. Put a hat on him, cut a hole in the hat, and then put your flower on. Flower ears and your glasses. I can hear your laughter. Y'all didn't like that one. Okay. I have seen these before. It's like a tool thing, Haven't y'all seen those that you carry your tools around as little kids? Carpenter thing. Is that what somebody said? Yep. That makes a good plant container. That was something I hadn't thought of either. Is you can take your pots and make whatever design you want on them. And if you didn't want the same black and white pot, you could use the same colored paints and have one that's squares, one that's diagonal, and all in the same colors. It's pretty interesting. There's you can use some kind of bottle. I was trying to think of what kind of bottle you would find that would be that shape, big enough to put plants in it. But yes, you make a terrarium. You put the water in it, put the top on it, and it'll be foggy on the sides. And if it loses the fog, then you take it off and put more water in it or whatever. Anyway, it's a terrarium with flowers. Remember the lattice work that we saw a while ago? The cans, you can get them at the school cafeteria, the big ones. If you have cans that have interesting labels on them, the Semblers on them, tomatoes, I know they have good sized cans. You can slice down the back of it and open it up and put your plants in there and attach it to something like lattice work or a post. or somewhere where you'd like to have, you know, something interesting. But it's cool. Okay, and you can also have a little herb garden in your kitchen window if you take some of your cans and just paint them in different colors. I know some of it's cheesy, but it's things I never thought of. Anyway, that's what I got for that. Okay, now we have something else. I have a friend who had a huge amount of wine bottles. And so I have sparkles, I have the glue, I have eyeballs, the only thing I can think to call these is something from 1969. That's what they look like to me. But I have all of that up here. You're welcome to come and get yourself a bottle and some glue and a placemat. You can glue the crystals and the jewels in a scatter pattern, in a cross, in a necklace, and do whatever you want to with it. Another idea is if you have a bottle tree or bottles like that, and it's Mardi Gras, you got a bunch of beads, you don't know what to do with the beads when Mardi Gras is over, you can throw them up there on your bottles. Then you can take them off, you can put Christmas things on there or whatever for the season, or I don't know, St. Patrick's Day you have green beads or whatever, anything you want to be a seasonal thing. Anyway, there's also glasses. I bought a whole bunch of these glasses. If y'all want one of those to put on one of your boots that you put flowers in. So, come ahead, get whatever you want. The glasses still, the bottles still have the labels on them, so if you don't want labels, you'll have to wash those off. So,